Hey y'all, it's T and welcome back to my channel where I share all things home related and lifestyle. In today's video, we'll be starting out in the garage tackling an unexpected organization project. So my husband told me that he was coming home with a few storage cabinets, so I thought that he was getting them for his tools. Come to find out, he came home with 4 of these metal cabinets, and then when he told me where he was going to put them, I knew that I had to get involved because he was wanting to rework that whole entire space. And that space that I'm referring to is the one where we keep our overflow household items in our garage. So if you're new here, I am an extreme couponer and I have been for the past 15 years. And at this point, it is pretty much a way of life for me. I've been doing it so long and it's so beneficial to my household and several others that I help out within my family. And honestly, just thinking back on COVID, if I wasn't couponing before then, COVID would have made me start. You guys remember the shortages that we had? I did not have that to worry about because I had items. Therefore, I was able to help friends and family who did not have access to the things that they needed. And I am also a school nurse, and I also have a child who is attending school. So the Kleenex and the Lysol wipes, you know that those are needed big time in the schools. So it's just benefits all the way around. You're able to help people, you're able to save money, and a lot of people really don't understand it, but if you do it for a purpose, or with a purpose, I should say, it works out just fine. And I also wanted to mention that you're going to see me store drinks out here. Now, we don't have an issue with our garage to where it gets really hot, probably because our house is newer and the garage is insulated really well, and so it doesn't really get terribly hot out there. The only time it gets hot is when we have the doors up and the heat is coming in from outside. Other than that, it stays pretty cool and a decent temperature.
And it never gets hard enough for ya. You've been enchanting this heart of mine for the longest time. Slow dancer, you stun me up with all your romancing, and it's making me weak like no one else, like there's no one else in the world. I'm under your spell, baby. This is our time. The dance floor is jumping. Move me tonight, boy. You got something that makes me feel like I'm at the top of the world.
So while we were out here, we decided to tackle this side of the garage as well. It is the area where our in-home gym is, and as you can see, it is a mess because during the colder months we were not coming out here and using the equipment, so items just got dumped and dropped here that shouldn't have even been over here. But now that we have the cabinets, we can put some of the items over there in storage, and then we also got rid of items that we were not using.
Spin me around and around. This is our time. The dance floor is jumping. Move me tonight, boy. You got something that makes me feel like I'm at the top of.
This refrigerator, I decided to move it from by the workout equipment because it kind of didn't make sense to still have it out here, being that we have the full size refrigerator on the other side of my car where we also keep drinks. So I am moving this to put in a different space, which I'll show you guys later in the video.
Dance with me. The music is making me so dizzy. I need to give in to the strong
So these windows, I did clean both of them, but I only showed one of them on camera. I really wanted to vacuum the spider webs from behind these blinds really well. After I vacuumed everything out, I came back with some Lysol wipes to give it a good wipe down. And to dust the blinds off, they weren't really bad. I'm using my Swiffer 360 duster. That way I can just throw it away after I get done. Love that, the convenience of it, nice and easy. And right here you see my A1 helper. She said, "Mom, how can I help you?" So I just told her to hand me the Lysol wipes, and then I gave her the vacuum. She put the vacuum down and she went and got back on her bike. And if you are new here, V is our 5-year-old daughter. Her name is Victory, but we call her V. She is the sweetest child, so helpful. She does not care what you are doing, she is jumping in. So to finish off this window, I am just using my Windex glass foam cleaner and then a microfiber cloth. So checking in, I know a couple of you have been on your weight loss and fitness journeys. How has that been going for you guys? Like, are you reaching your goals? Are you still hanging in there? Let me know down in the comments. So my journey has been going pretty well. I am now down 35 pounds, which I am so excited about. My goal now is to tone everything up, which is why I am so excited to get back out here and get back on these weights. So after removing that refrigerator, this exercise bike fit perfectly into that empty space. So the last thing that I had to do is to go back over and vacuum to make sure I got everything up. And just like that, this space is back on track and ready to be used again. So moving back over to the cabinets, I am so happy with how this space turned out. Everything is organized. We know where everything is. So in the future, when we are looking for items, we know exactly where to go to grab them. So let this be your sign to get out there in your garages and get your spaces organized. You will feel so much better once you have it done. And if you're interested in these cabinets, I will have them linked down in my description box. So this is a different day, and I decided to come out on our screened and back porch to get that cleaned off. It wasn't terribly bad. We did not have to pull out the pressure washer this time like we usually do, because the pollen was a lot lighter this year in my opinion. So the first thing that I wanted to do is to pull all of the cushion covers off so that I could throw them in the washing machine so that those can be going while I continue to clean. So I did not show it, but after they came out of the washer, I did not put them in the dryer. I laid them out in the sun so that they can dry, and they dried in no time. So I believe the last time that I came out here to refresh the space, I mentioned that I wanted to remake over the space. Reason being is that the sectional has worn down a good bit in the back. So I wanted to go ahead and get it replaced, but I just wanted to give a whole new look in our outdoor space. Well, this season that did not happen because, as you can see, I am just now getting out here to get it cleaned up. This summer was terribly busy for me, and it is going by so fast. Y'all, I go back to work in just a few weeks, about 3 weeks to be exact. I'll be back at work. So I haven't had time to sit down and plan out this space, redesign it how I want it to. But that is something that will probably happen in the future. But for this season, my goal was just to get it cleaned up so that we can come out here in the evenings for the rest of the summer and into the fall. My cushion covers have also faded some as well, but that's okay. They don't have any holes in it. So like I said, they will get us through this season. So after I changed the water in the bucket that I was using, I just continued on to wipe down the railing and then these chairs. Y'all, I moved so fast. It looked like it was a lot, but it wasn't. It took me no time to get that done. You already know that cleaning is my thing, and don't let me put on some music or a good audiobook. I move even faster. This particular day, I did not have any of that on, but I got it done. And speaking of audiobooks, if you're into audiobooks, put me down some favorite books that you have listened to down in the comment section. I am looking for more to go ahead and get into my library. So moving on to this table, at first I wasn't exactly sure what was on here and I thought that it could just wipe off. I was wrong, but I have an idea that it was that bubble solution, that empty bottle that was tipped over. I believe that that spilled, dried onto the table, and then the pollen and the dust piled on top of that. So the easiest way that I found to get it off was to get a razor from my husband's supply in the garage, and I just put it into a holder and I just scraped it off, and as you can see, it came off so easily. It did not scratch the table or anything. And you can also use this if you have a glass cooktop stove. You can use this to get off of like the cooked on messes. It works really well. Just make sure that you use it at an angle. And you've already seen me use this in the oven when I had that big spill. I used it to get that cleaned up as well. And these can be found at any home improvement store like Harbor Freight, Lowe's, Home Depot. You should be able to find them there with no problem. And so to finish off the table, I am just going in with my spray weight glass cleaner. Y'all, this can was almost empty. That's why it wasn't foaming up as much, but it did get the job done. And now we are back in business. So continuing on with the sweeping, I'm so glad again that we did not have to pull out that pressure washer. Just a good sweep and a vacuum using my Shark stick vacuum. It got it done very easily. Moving on to the TV. We usually have a cover on the TV, but we were out here doing some home improvement projects and we were watching TV. We did not put the cover back on the last time we were out here, so it was a little dusty. So I'm just using my 360 Swiffer duster again to get that dusted. And if you haven't guessed, this is where I decided to put the refrigerator. It was the perfect spot. So when we are outside in the evenings, in the outdoor space in the yard, we tend to go in and out of the house and to the kitchen to get drinks out of that refrigerator. Now we don't need to do that because they will be closer, being that the refrigerator is right here on the porch. So moving back to the sectional, I kept it really simple over here. Like I said, I repurposed everything that I am using out here. So after I put the cushions back in place, I added these pillows that I purchased from Home Goods. I already had those on hand. This potted plant also came from Home Goods as well. And then the planters, which I did not get a clip of, that I placed under the TV, those came from Burlington, and I used those, I believe, last year. So back to the refrigerator, I made sure that it was stocked with all of our favorites, couple soft drinks, but the majority of it was water, Gatorade, a couple drinks for the kids, and then I also made sure that I added in some popsicles as well. So that brings us to the end of this week's video. I hope that you guys enjoyed it, and I also hope that it motivated you and inspired you to get some organization and some cleaning done in your home. I want to thank you guys so much for watching this week's video, and I will talk to you all in my next one.